Welcome to Next Level Youth Training Track and Field Talk Show. We are live with a wonderful lineup and schedule for you today. We have Lauren Morgan from Seton that we will be interviewing very shortly. Of course, I'm your host, Coach John. Right now, I'm solo. Coach Tony is running a little late. That's about his average. How he made it on time the first couple of shows, I don't know, but we'll get into that once Coach Tony gets here. We have Lauren Morgan from Seton. She's going to be here today, so we're going to interview her, ask her a couple of questions, find out about where she's going, what college she selected, what are her plans for this summer as far as summer track, and moving forward for the outdoor season, get into her schedule a little bit, her training regiment, and just see where she's going from there. We're also going to get into a little bit of the statistics from over the weekend. We're going to talk about NCAA indoor championship as far as New Balance, high school indoor championship. We'll get into some of those stats as well because we want to make sure we give accolades to everybody that went to New Balance, did a great job, did an outstanding job. So for those of you that are in school, when you see one of your classmates and they're walking around and they got this nice, shiny New Balance bag on their back, know that that's because they put in some hard work, some really hard work to achieve their goals, to get to the highest point as far as high school is concerned, which is the New Balance National Championship. So they have one for indoors. They also have one for outdoors. So if you see somebody with one of those backpacks on, just stop them for a minute, congratulate them because they really put in some hard work to get to that point to where they was able to reach the level of New Balance to receive one of those bags. You're not selected. You got to earn it. You got to earn it pretty much based off time. You got to earn it based off putting in the hard work with your coach to either qualify in an individual event or qualify on one of the relays, whether it's a sprint medley, mile relay, 4x2. It comes with a cost because it's really not easy. It's not easy at all. A lot of people look around and they wonder, how can I be Lauren Morgan? How can I be Asafa Powell? How can I be Usain Bolt? And I can give you one word answer for that. It's pain. It's pain. It's dedication. It's hard work. When others are asleep, they're up. They're up. They're putting in extra hours of work. When people want to leave practice early, they're continuing to go through the pain. Just the other day when we were training our athletes over at the complex, had an 8-year-old kid, and he was on the board and he was in tears and he was crying. And I just went over to him and I said, "It's you're either or. Are you hurt or are you in pain? Which is it? Either you hurt and we can pull you off the board and we can tend to what's going on, or if you're in pain, you need to stay right there. You need to stay right there and you need to finish this exercise." He was 8 and he had tears, but, his parents didn't send him to me to just baby him and take him off that board just because he was going through pain at that moment. And I explained to him, listen, go through this pain right now, and when you get on that football field and you pushing that guy around on the other side of the ball, you're going to put that pain on him. That's the whole process. You got to go through this pain now so that you can become a better athlete. That's why you putting in this extra work. That's why you here on Sunday mornings. That's why you here on Monday night, Wednesday night, because you putting in that hard work and that extra work so that when you go back out there and play your sport, it now becomes easy for you. You're now moving in yourself to another level of your athletic ability to where you can compete on a higher level. Then once you're competing on a higher level, then the accolades come. But you got to put in that work, and it's just not easy. So when you looking around or you looking at the athletes that are coming onto this show, the athletes that come on this show are chosen because they deserve to be on this show, because they put in the hard work and the dedication to put themselves in a position where their community looks up to them and want to give them accolades for the work that they've put in, for the job well done. You simply can say, job well done. So we showing our appreciation today to Lauren Morgan from Seton. We have other athletes to come. But that's how you get on this show. You get on this show by hard work and dedication. So with that said, we're going to go into some of the people that they put their work in. I mean, they put in that hard work and dedication at New Balance, and it showed up when it got to the finals. You got Caleb, the boys 60-meter dash champion out of Texas. He put in that hard work. Let me make sure that's the finals. That is the finals. He went 673. 673 in the finals. See, for the girls, you got Jayla Kirkland from Alabama. She went 7.27. I mean, that's in the 60. So she's moving. She's moving. She's not just rolling out of the bed, going to practice for 2 hours out of the day, and she's able to run a 7.2. That's not happening. You got to really put in some work, and you got to go through some pain in order to achieve these times. And she did the work, so she deserved the accolades for being the 60-meter champion at New Balance. You got Tyrese Cooper. Young man is doing phenomenal things out of Florida. Young guy, he went 21.0 in the 200 and indoors. That's phenomenal. 21.0 indoors, that's a phenomenal time. So, got to congratulate that young man for what he's doing over there. You got the 4x2. Let me look here. Tyrese Cooper was also the 400-meter winner. So that's a two-time New Balance champion, the 60 and the 400. So, I mean, these are just individuals. Again, you got everybody knows Sydney McLaughlin. And again, her name's been ringing bells for the past couple of years. But I can guarantee you, she gets no sleep. She probably has a good social life, but it's not a full social life. You got to understand that sacrifices come with this. Sacrifices come with hard work and dedication. Same way as I am hard on my athletes, I'm the same way on my kids. I tell them, look, you can go out, you can have fun with your friends, you can enjoy yourself, but you got to put in that work. If you want dad chasing around and following you and driving you everywhere around town, you got to put in that work. You got to put in that work in school, and you got to put in that work in track. If you're not going to do it, don't play. Don't sign up. Don't put on a uniform. Don't pay the fees. If you're not going to do it, don't pay the fees. If you're going to do it, give it your all. Give it everything you got because, again, it's just not easy. Go through the pain. Pain is nothing. It's just temporary. Pain is temporary. Every time you see an Olympian, not even Olympian, just look at some of the NCAA champions over the past weekend. When they cross that finish line, they break down in tears. They literally break down in tears. I mean, behind those tears of joy is several hours of pain. I can promise you it's several hours of pain. Non-stop repetitive workouts, non-stop repetitive working out in the gym, working out on the track, coach getting on your nerves, trainer getting on your nerves. But at the end of the day, it all paid off. And that's a part of those tears that you see. That's a part of those tears because it all paid off. So just want to give accolades to some of these schools out here as well. Western Branch went up there. They did a phenomenal job. The guys 4x2 mile relay, the girls 4x2 in their mile relay. They did a phenomenal job. Seton went up there. They represented well. You got Riverdale Baptist. They went up there. They represented well. As also Bullis. Bullis went up there. They represented well. Let's see. You got DeMatha, Curl, you name it. I mean, we got several powerhouses in this area that, deserve a lot of praise for going up there and representing the area well, making sure that they're teaching these young athletes the proper training program and getting them into a position where they can go to New Balance and compete against the best in the country. And that's what it's all about. It's not about running against everybody in Maryland, Virginia, or D.C. You want to compete on a national level. Track and field is probably one of the only sports that really give you that platform to compete against everybody across the country. And if you're not doing it in high school, then summer track is definitely the place to do it. It's definitely the place to do it. I'm talking about track meets where it's 4,000 to 6,000 people there for one day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. out in the sun all day, competing hard against the best talent that there is. So I recommend any athlete that's thinking about participating in track and field, summertime is the best time to do it. It's the best time to do it. It's when you really get out there and you get to compete against the best in your area, the best in your region, and the best nationally. Um, with that said, we're going to take a quick 10-minute break. I think Coach Tony, yeah, he just walked in the building. So we're going to take a quick 10-minute break, and we're going to get Coach Tony seated, and we'll be right back on Next Level Youth Track and Field Talk Show. I'm your host, Coach John. Welcome back to Next Level Youth Track and Field Talk Show. We now have Coach Tony in the building. Something you want to say? You want?
No, man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You don't want to tell your audience anything? You okay?
No, I just I had an emergency over at one of our apartment buildings,
Okay.
and you got to handle those things. So
He's versatile.
it's being taken care of. It's being taken care of.
Okay. So we now have the talented, the athletic, the national athlete, Lauren Morgan from Seton. Lauren Morgan from Seton. So
I met Lauren in the waiting room. We were watching the show together.
You were watching together?
We were watching the
outside?
show together, yeah.
Watching together outside?
Yeah, listening to you put me on blast.
Hey, I mean, somebody got to do it. This actually the number one thing that I want to share with the viewers and the listeners is this is rare. I mean, you can go to any college, you can go to any school in the nation, and what I'm getting ready to tell you is extremely rare. For you to see this out of one athlete at a school, 55 meter, 60 meter, 100 meter, 200 meter, and 300 meter dash record holder at her school, Seton. She has the record for all of those events. That's unheard of. I mean, people get to a school and they trying to get one. I mean, they ain't crawling for one.
They trying to get on the relay team.
Yeah. I want to get the record for the 60. Can I get that? So, did you get them all in 1 year, or has it been over the years? How did this fall out?
What year are you now?
I'm a senior. I think it was most of them came last year, except for the 55.
Mm-hmm.
And then I worked for the 55 this year because I wanted to have like a bunch. I wanted to have the most. So I worked for 55, and I think I got the rest of them last year. And then I just was like working on making them, like dropping them so that they could be like harder to reach for the next years.
Oh yeah, so you don't want nobody to beat your record, right?
No,
When you're gone, you like it's gonna stay there for a couple years.
Yeah, why you don't want nobody
10,
to get your
15,
records?
20 years.
Why not? Why you not being nice? Why you don't want people to have opportunity to get your records?
She's
You
trying
trying to
to
put them out of reach?
Yeah, trying to
My
put it out of
name
reach.
would stay at Seton for a while, so I wanted to have the records to be.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, you're a sprinter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sprinters from what to what? 55 to what?
I mean the 4, I guess.
Say it again. Say it again. You
The
said?
4, but I don't really like to do the 4. Only for the relay.
I've seen you run. I've seen you run. I haven't seen you run a whole lot, but I've seen you run. I'm sure you can get the record at the 400 at your school.
But the four is a sprint, right?
You gotta close it out. I mean,
That's
close
not-
the book. Close the book. If you get the 400, you completely close the book. I mean, imagine when I say this all the time to athletes that are pretty much in high school now. It's really about when you come back. When you come back to your school and you can walk down the hallway and look at the record list, and there's your name. It's records that you've set. And then when the students in the school don't know who you are, somebody's going to point to you and say, that's Lauren Morgan. And then the eyes are going to get big and the questions are going to start to come. But like I said before, but you've put in that work to earn that, to get to that place.
And it really helps when you decide to go back and contribute and coach.
Yeah.
So you could tell them, hey, you see that trophy case out there in the hallway? Those are my trophies, right? So tell them, I've been there already. You trying to get there. So that's what you get to do when you're coaching. I'm glad you said 400 is a sprint, because a lot of sprinters want to try to make a 400 be a middle distance or something. It's a sprint, right? It's a sprint. Isn't it right, John?
We've already had this discussion.
I know you just
Coach
picking
John
one.
didn't run 400.
You just picking
I didn't run. Coach John didn't run 300.
Actually, I was talking about that John out there.
She don't do it either. That's 200 is her max. That's her wall. That's a wall. 200 is the wall. So give us a little insight. Well, we was talking a little bit earlier off camera before the show actually started about two of your coaches, which is Omar and Coach Anthony, which I actually ran with at Glen Arden, competed against in high school, and we actually went to the same college as well. They were competitors. They were competitors because they came out of, at Eleanor Roosevelt at that time, that group of athletes that they had, their theme and motto was, we're going to compete. We're going to compete from mile relay, 4x2, everything 400 down that entails sprinters. When Roosevelt showed up, me and Coach Tony knew we had to come correct because they were going to run. As far as the 400, like Coach Anthony was about what, 4'2", but he could run. Coach Anthony was one of the top quarter milers, 400 meter runners. Yeah, Coach Anthony was one of the top 400 meter runners in the state, hands down, bar none.
Wow.
Coach Anthony could roll, bar none. You can look at him now, little legs, everything, but Coach Anthony, when he got on that track, he put it down. He put it down. Like I said, Omar was the 400 to the 8. So we didn't really consider Omar a sprinter because he was over there with the 800 runners. But he'll trickle down from down and in.
Yeah.
We had to go get him in the 4x2.
Has Taylor Tucker been out there with the coaching staff working with the athletes? Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
Okay. She works with my son sometime. She's a Maryland University athlete, but I know she graduated from Seton also.
Yeah.
And she had mentioned to me that she would be out there working with the high school sometime.
No, she hasn't come out for our practices. We see her at Pine Relay sometimes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. She was really nice when I met her.
She's good. She's good. She's going to be a good coach also one day when she's finished with her professional career, if she goes that way. But yeah, she's good. She knows her stuff.
Yeah.
So Lauren, give us a little insight to Seton and your training program, and how do you prepare yourself to really go out and lead your team on the track by whether it's by your work ethic or if it's by your voice, your words. Give us a little insight to that.
Well, for us, like at Seton, it's really like everything's really fun. Like you wouldn't even expect any of us to like be like how we are at these our practices because we're extremely silly. And like as you can tell, the three of them, we goof around a lot and we just like have a lot of fun.
I thought they were glass. They was getting ready to wrestle in the lobby. I said they gonna break the glass. Should I call him? Okay. All right, we got a caller. We have Lauren Morgan. You have a question for Lauren?
Yeah, okay. Lauren, how do you balance school and track?
I don't know. I feel like when I get home, I try my hardest to really pay attention and do my work. And then, because I know that I have like certain, like, when it comes to learning, it's a little bit harder for me. And my mom really understands, so I know that like I have to really try my hardest to really try to focus when it comes to school. So I really like dedicate at least an hour to really do my homework and forget about everything else. And then when it comes to track, I like to spend like track practice focusing on track. And then when I get home, I really try to focus on school. But it's really hard, but I try.
But you got to find that balance.
Yeah.
You're a student athlete, you have to find that.
Caller, what's your name and what school are you calling from?
My name's Kayla, and I go to Elizabeth Seton.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kayla. Did you have any more questions, or was that your question?
No, that's just my only question.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, Kayla.
So that's. Let me piggyback on something that you just said. So, there's two hats typically from a family, from the dad and the mom. One's probably the one that's pushing the track side or the athletic side, shall I say, and the other one is pushing the education side. And they both know, well, he or she's pushing that, so I know that's covered. So I'll make sure I'm pushing on this side. So is it like that in your house, or is it both mutual on the same?
It's pretty mutual. It just depends on like the subject. Like my dad will push government and history and English, and my mom will push math and science. Like she really is into math and science. But they both are really into sports. And my mom ran track in high school, so she really gets into it, and like she likes to compare how we both did. And my dad, he's just a sports person, so we like to like compare how we did. So like they're both really into it, and they're both really into school. So it's pretty even for both of them.
Okay.
So how does your records compare to mom's records?
That's what I was going to ask. So mom throwing numbers at you? She's throwing numbers at you?
You ain't get there yet?
Yeah. That's right. Look at come in the house looking at her like, not yet, baby.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet, baby. Not yet. I'm not carrying your bags yet, baby. Not yet.
Well, my mom in high school, she was I think she was okay. I'm not entirely sure. She was like I was a freshman and the seniors were kind of like mean, and my mom was like she was one of those seniors who were mean to the freshmen who came in better than her. So she was like one of those people, I guess. But she was all right. I mean, I think she was pretty good at her in her state. I don't have her times compared to mine. She doesn't really talk about them, and they're kind of different. Like the times and the races she ran.
Okay, caller.
We have another caller. Call us. Tell us your name and what school you're calling from.
I'm Amarachi Ibe, and I'm calling from Stonebridge School of the Sacred Heart.
Oh, excellent, excellent. You have a question for Lauren?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Lauren, when did you know you wanted to start competing at the collegiate level?
I guess when I was like a freshman in high school, and I realized that I wanted to really focus on track and not basketball. That's probably when I realized I wanted to go further in my track career. Yeah.
Okay.
And do you have any offers on the table for track in college?
I mean,
Go ahead and show them.
oh, my hat. Yeah, I'm already
She's
going.
already gone.
okay.
Yeah.
Amazing sweatshirt. That's where I'm going to. I'm going to Michigan.
Michigan. Oh,
She's going to Michigan. And
Yeah.
tell us who
that's an excellent
who
program.
twisted your arm to go to Michigan?
My mom. My
So
mom.
mom was a part of that discussion and battle as well. So
Right.
she's going to Michigan. Give us
So
why
that's-
Michigan?
That's you have to really love running track to go to the big program, because practice is like a track meet.
Yeah.
You know, you're really competing. You're really competing. So, but that's awesome.
Crazy. I guess because like I didn't want to go there originally, and it was like I kept pushing it off, and then like when I went there, it was like I really loved it, and I was like, how can I like I just was like weird how much I loved the school that I didn't want to go to, and how everyone was like, don't let your mom persuade you. And I was like, if anything, my mom was making me not want to go there more. It's like how much I loved it without it being without anybody else's persuasion, I think was like what really made me realize that I loved the school.
So was it like the coaching staff? Was it the atmosphere? Was it the diversity? Was it the athletes that are currently there? What kind of nudged you a little bit as far as Michigan over? Because you said you went to a visit over at Arizona State as well. So
Yeah.
what kind of sealed that deal for you?
I think I like the atmosphere at Michigan was just like it was amazing. Like everyone was all for Michigan. Like during games, everyone was like Happy Game Day, and everyone was wearing maize and blue, and it was like crazy. And then the teammates, like the girls, they were really nice. And then one of the girls who's on the team now, she was from Maryland. Her name's Doreen, and she came to and she practiced with my old coach. So I was like already knew her, and she was really nice, and they were all really welcoming. And then the coach Henry, he's like Coach Omar, but at college, and he's like, so he was the best. And I was like, I would just be going from one coach that I loved to another coach, and they were just everyone was really welcoming, and it was like I was already part of the family. And then it was far enough away from them.
That's called recruiting.
Close to my
That's called recruiting.
Everyone was like, he's the same like as he is now. He's just as goofy, even when like there aren't any recruits around. So I was like, I mean, it has to be pretty
That's
real.
good, as long as you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But that's recruiting. I've been there also. Football coaches are real nice.
They're really nice
You
until
get on
practice.
campus, it changes.
Yeah, that's what Coach Trump told me.
John, we need to take a break and come back with Lauren.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Lauren Morgan from Seton.
My phone blowing up. I'm having some issues.
Welcome back to Next Level Youth Track and Field Talk Show. We still have Lauren Morgan with us here. Please feel free to call in to ask Lauren questions if you have any questions for her. I guess I want to pick up with kind of where we left off at, Michigan. So, well, we have a call. Let's take a call first. Caller, can you tell us your name and where you're calling from?
Hi, I'm Vanessa from Miami Country Day School.
Hello, Vanessa. You have any questions for Lauren?
Yes, Lauren, I've seen you at different meets, and I'm amazed every time. Like, you're just an amazing athlete, and I wanted to know what would be your ultimate achievement.
Hi, thank you. I guess my ultimate achievement, like right now or like going on, just that's a question.
In your future.
Well, like in my near future, I guess I'm like really want to go for like a state record in like maybe the one or the two. That's like something big that I want to do instead of just like go beyond my school. And then I guess in like college, definitely making it to NCAAs and then being able to make it to the finals and hopefully be like a champion or like a finalist, like top 2 or 3. That would be really cool. Something that I really would try to strive to do.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Caller, you're on with Next Level Youth Track and Field Sports Talk Show. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Nia. I'm calling from Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
All right. Did you have a question for Lauren?
Yeah. Out of all the many events you do, which one's your favorite?
I guess my favorite is the 200. I don't know. I just like it the most. I think I'm like the best at it as well, and I think it's easier if I have like because my start isn't that great, so I can really catch up in the last like 150 and not have to worry about how bad my start is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Bye, Nia.
So you think it's your start needs some help? So I need to get on Coach Anthony Battle over there.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on Coach Battle about that.
Okay.
We
Thank you
work
for
on
that help.
starts and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell anybody, whether you're top 5, even if you're number 1, there's still technical aspects for a sprinter of things that they can improve on and evolve throughout their career and their track season. Because trust me, once you get to Michigan, it's going to be more focused technically on the things that you need to change in order to run at that collegiate level and that elite level. You know, from the resources and the time that Coach Omar, Coach Battle, I know there's a lot of other coaches over there, names that I'm not mentioning, but accolades to all of you guys as well. But from the time and the resources that they have, it's kind of difficult to really hone in and focus on that week in and week out, you know, the technical aspect. That when it comes to the technical part, that's one of the things that I just stay on it 24/7. So when I get to the track meet, I'm not really watching to see who's winning. I'm looking at form and technique. It could be the person that's in last place. I'm watching their form and their technique like, okay, wow, how do you do that? Or how's this still happening every week when I see you? Why am I still seeing the same form and technique? So I'll sit there and I'll just bug out on that. I'll just bug out on that. And I'll walk by the coach and, hey, how you doing? Who's such and such running? Eventually, I'll egg them on to the technical part and be like, hey, well, what do you think they're doing wrong with this? Or what do you think they're doing wrong with that? I constantly study from the blocks, the drive phase, all the way through to the end of the race. I constantly study that whole thing. I was just picking up new tips last week as far as the block start is concerned. Really foot placement and helping you as far as that power when it comes to like your first 3 steps. It's like with my daughter Jean, she's kind of changed her blocks this year. Where now her first 10 is pretty quick. It's pretty fast. So she got to work on the process after that. But that's coming from rust, the whole year off, being injured, trying to get back into form. So, but she understands that the technical aspect is a huge part of the race. It's a huge part of the race. So we have another caller. Caller, thank you for calling Next Level Youth Track and Field Talk Show. We have Lauren Morgan live in the studio. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Naomi calling in from Bowie.
Okay, Naomi, did you have a question for Lauren?
What did you say? I'm sorry. Oh, yes. It's on. Okay.
Yes.
Hello?
You can go ahead and ask
Oh.
your question.
Hi, I want to know what it's like being Lauren Morgan.
Wow, that's a great question. That's a great question.
Hey Naomi, it's I mean it's not anything. I feel like it's not that crazy. I don't know. I don't think people. I don't know. It's just it's pretty normal. It's probably like being Naomi. You know, it's the same. We're just people. I don't know Naomi. It's the same thing as you being a person.
Well, see, no, you have fans. You have fans. You have a fan in myself. You have a fan in Coach Tony, but you have these fans because of the work that you put in, and even outside of the work, more so the way you carry yourself, at the track meets, regardless of what place you come in. You know, you treat it with the same respect as if you won the race. So you have fans because of that. So when you get to a certain level, people are watching you, right?
Yeah.
And they watch how you conduct yourself, how you treat other athletes around you, how you treat your teammates. So you have fans because of that. I mean, you know, like you say, for you, it might just be normal, might be this, but when you say Lauren Morgan in the track atmosphere, people know who you are. Little kids know who you are. Little girls know who you are. And again, you're on here because we know of your, not just what you're doing on the field, but we know of your reputation, and we know that giving you this exposure is hopefully going to rub off on some of the younger generation to where they'll say, they might not know that Olympian or they might not know that collegiate athlete, but they're right here in the same community with Lauren Morgan, and they can point and say, I want to be like her. I want to be like Lauren Morgan. Yeah. And you know, you should be commended for that because you've put in that hard work.
Thank you.
And you've deserved that. Is there anything that you want to say to your school, that you want to say to your teammates before they tear down and break the glass in the lobby? Say to your parents, your brother's here supporting you, your father's here supporting you. She does have teammates here in the lobby supporting her as well.
I want to say thank you to my teammates and Chalice. I'm sorry, even though she couldn't be here, I want to say that I love you. I want to say I love all my teammates. You guys are the best, and thank you for supporting me. And thanks to my parents for always driving me to practice. And even if I'm really upset about a race, thanks for still putting up with me and always buying me new spikes and going through my constant phases with track. And thanks, Josh, for wearing that sweatshirt. Thanks, guys. You're the best. And then my coaches, too. I want to thank my coaches for always supporting me.
Well, and I think I left them out as well, as far as in the pursuit of an athlete. There's also a lot of sacrifices that the parents take on. It's a lot of sacrifices that the coaches take on. But they're typically driven by that athlete's ambition, and that athlete, the goals that they're trying to acquire. The parents, they dive in because they feel like, oh, we're a part of that. We need to give our child as much support as we can to help them achieve their goals.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to finish first.
Yeah.
But if you have that desire to try and the will to want to finish first, I mean, speaking as a parent myself, we all fall in. What do you need to do? Where do you need to go? How much is this going to cost? Fine. Whatever it is, that's fine. As long as you're smiling, you're happy, and we know that you have that drive towards that, then we buy into it.
Yeah.
We buy into it. We have another caller.
Yeah, you got a question before that from Eric Taylor. He said, Lauren, do you have a pre-race ritual? What is your mind before a race? West Coast good father, Eric.
Oh, okay. Usually before a race, I always tie my shoes a certain way. Like my brother, I don't know why I got it from him, but he taught me how to tie my shoes a certain way. So before every race, I like untie my spikes and then retie them like this like particular way. It has to be this exact way. And then I take like there's a bracelet that I always wear that I have to like have with me at every race. And then like that's like what I usually do before the races. And then like when I'm getting the blocks, I have to like say a prayer or something. And then like just my mindset, I'm usually really nervous. And it's like meets that are like nationals, I'm nervous too, but like I'm not as nervous as like WCACs or like the first meets of the year, because I feel like there's a lot of pressure on me to do really well at like the smaller meets. I don't know, so I get really nervous and I like psych myself out. So I'm usually like talking to myself and like trying to calm myself down before the smaller meets, and then the bigger meets I'm just like trying to like relax, I guess, and not overthink things and like let it just be fun.
So I hear that a lot from athletes, and I mean, I understand it because I've been in that situation where the nerves come. So what advice would you give athletes as far as a way to kind of focus or take your mind elsewhere? What do you do? How do you deal with the nerves?
Usually I like to pray. I don't know. Usually for me that helps. And then I just like to remind myself that it's like at the end of the day it's all fun. So like don't let yourself stress about it and really try not to overthink anything. Because right before my 200 at Nationals, one of my old coaches, Coach Raw, one of his athletes told me not to overthink it, and then like I just relaxed, and then I ended up PRing in that race, and that was just like simple advice, but it really helped me to like really like have a good race and not worry about the result and just have fun with it.
It's difficult because one of the things I always say is I can tell you 1,000 times, but until you actually feel it yourself, then that's when you truly take over and things start to change. I can say, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way, but you have to actually feel it yourself in your body. And once you do that, like you say, they gave you that advice, which I'm sure you've probably heard before.
Yeah.
But then once you were able to do it, now you can continue that same path and helping you to relax before the race.
Yeah.
So caller, we have another caller. Thank you for calling the Next Level Youth Track and Field Sports Talk Show. Can you please give us your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, this is Coach Omar from Elizabeth Seton.
Coach Omar. Coach Omar, a.k.a. Eleanor Roosevelt, a.k.a. Glenarden Track Club. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing fine, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. Hey, you have a just want to commend you, man. And like I said, I know you have a staff and a team over there. You guys are definitely doing wonderful things. So I just want to commend you on not just for, you know, the development of Lauren, but the development of the whole team in itself. You know, every time I go somewhere and Seton's there, Seton is there. You know Seton is in the building. And that's just that's a direct result from the coaching, the guidance, and the instructions that they get from you guys, man. So I definitely want to commend you for that. I wish you were here in the studio, but